friends, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of a very extra special reading vlog. Currently Tuesday night, particularly the night of a very special book release, and the book I'm chatting about is, of course, it's so big it's hard to hold up, Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare, the third and final book to the Last Hour series. I'm so pumped to be picking this book up. I braved nasty winter weather to buy this from Target this afternoon, and I'm so thrilled to be documenting the process via vlog today. I feel like it's going to break me, all 700 pages of it. Before we jump into the rest of the vlog, first a word from this video's sponsor, which is Glasses USA. I have been a longtime Glasses USA ambassador, and quite literally every single pair of glasses you see me wear over the course of many years are all from this amazing site. But if you're not familiar, Glasses USA is an online glasses retailer. They have thousands upon thousands of different frames to shop from regular eyeglasses to sunglasses, and because they're able to cut out the middleman, everything is sent not only directly to your door, but they also have fantastic and affordable pricing. They also have a variety of super handy tools to help selecting which frame is best for you. A breeze, like the live try-on tool, which basically uses AR technology, scans your face, and allows you to try on the frames in real time, ensuring that you know what the frames look like ahead of buying them. For my Glasses USA haul for this video, I wanted to talk about my two most asked frames. I get DMs, comments, questions every single day about where these two glasses are from, and great news, they're both from Glasses USA. Before I dive into the frames themselves, I of course have a special offer, which I will have linked down below, as well as both frames I'm going to show off today. So the first pair of glasses I'm going to chat about are the glasses I'm wearing right now, or the glasses I'm wearing throughout the entirety of the vlog you are about to watch. I can say I might have a new everyday frame. This is like hard for me because I've really been wearing the same pair of glasses every day for years, which I still wear in high frequency, but these glasses have also won over my heart. And these are the Muse Merrill, and I have them in the tortoise shade, but they come in a huge variety of colors, and they are a fantastic price, like sub $100 with prescription included. So if you're looking for a new frame, I highly recommend checking these out, but they're just perfect. I love the size, I love the color, I love the shape. Ever since I got them in December, I've basically been almost wearing them every single day, and I truly cannot get enough. And then the second pair of glasses are, of course, my beloved round frames, and these are the Ray-Ban 344 7V round metal, and I have the medium size, and I have them in just the classic gold frame, but I also have one that has a bit of tortoise shell. They also have a variety of colors and different sizes in this frame as well, so depending on your face shape. I truly have gone on and on about these glasses, but they're just perfect. Lightweight, incredible, and as I said, Glasses USA carries a huge range of brands, including more premium brands like Ray-Ban, but still offering them at a great price with prescription included. So you're still able to save a pretty penny in comparison to shopping in store. Alrighty guys, those are the two pairs of glasses I wanted to show off today. Again, I'll have them linked both down below, as well as my special offer. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump back into the video. That being said, as I just mentioned, Austin is actually having like a bit of an ice storm situation over the next few days, meaning you can't really leave your house because we don't really have like the infrastructure to make it safe to drive around with ice. Like we don't have sand or anything like that to treat the roads. So anywho, I'm gonna be staying in, which I'm looking forward to. It's also really cold, really gloomy, so it feels like the perfect weather to read a fantastic book and cry. And I'm so looking forward to vlogging the process. I've just wrapped up work. It's like almost 6, so I'm gonna get changed into comfortable clothes, make dinner, do all of that. But tonight I'm going to get into bed early and get so much reading done, and I truly cannot wait. So anyway, welcome. Let's get to it. Already changed into comfortable clothes. I even put a turtleneck on because it's just so cold in my house. I'm so chilly. But I'm actually already in the process of making dinner. Tonight I am making steak tacos, which just sounded so good. Oh, I have chopped up an onion. I'm marinating the steak to cook. I have my tortillas out, the fresh ones from H-E-B, the best. And I'm also making some Spanish rice, which needs to cook a bit longer before I basically cook off everything else. I'm also gonna make a quick guac. Should be very tasty. So while I'm waiting for the rice to cook a bit longer, I'm gonna play like 15 minutes of Potion Permit, which is like this new cozy game I've been really enjoying. It's as the name describes, you're making potions for a town. Delightful. Dinner is done, and I definitely
if I do say so myself, outdid myself with these tacos.
Alrighty, I'm making some tea and eating some candy because I'm gonna watch some Fruits Baskets and then I'm going to go start my book. But I have to show you how cool this mug is. I don't think you guys are ready for it. Isn't that just the coolest thing you've ever seen? It's like a little magic heart mug. Having a quick Fruits Basket watch session ahead of reading for the night. I am making Clay watch Fruits Baskets for the first time. What are your thoughts, Clay, so far?
I have really enjoyed it so far. Really chill.
So
fun,
charming, right?
Sweet, a little heartbreaking, and all the characters are really fun.
Yeah. We're on episode 10 of season 1. Face mask is on. V-Spot is ready. Matilda and I are about to start the experience of reading Chain of Thorns. I can't wait to be broken by this book. Hi friends, good morning. So funny story. There was an ice storm last night, as you can see with the trees, and we don't have power, but luckily I have an 800-page long book to keep me entertained. We have a lot of candles lit around the house. Just trying to make the most of it. Oh, we do have a gas stove. So we lit it with a match. So we're gonna do like pour over coffee maker coffee. Are we geniuses? Maybe. Hi friends, apologies for the delay. I feel like I've been a little all over the place this morning, though I suppose for good reason. But I wanted to do a reading update because I did read 100 pages last night. Not that it made much of a difference given the size and length of this book. And I'm gonna sit down and just read, I guess, because I have quite literally nothing else I can even do. Like, I can't work or anything. I don't even have internet or power. So it's kind of strange. It feels like a snow day. So I'm trying to stay positive. But the first 100 pages of Chain of Thorns was fantastic. I mean, talk about a book that just immediately pulls you in. I feel like this is going to be a roller coaster ride for the next 800 pages. The fantastic thing about this series is it has so many separate storylines that I am hooked on, like the same amount. There's so many characters to love and there's just so many different things happening, which is why I'm pretty sure this book is so long. There's a lot of things Cassandra Clare has to wrap up. But it just makes for such a gripping read because every change in storyline, it's like a little mini cliffhanger. So you're like, oh, I need to know more. But then you're back with another set of characters that you also want to know more about. So it's just so unbelievably addicting. But if you're not familiar, the Last Hour series is set kind of in the turn of the century, set in London, and it follows a connection to the Clockwork Princess series. This is so good. So much fun because it has all the pomp and circumstance, like a historical story, like balls and dances and the propriety and all of that. Plus, there are demons, and plus all of our main characters are shadow hunters, so they're, tasked to protect London, all of these things. There's conspiracies having to do with the Shadow Hunter Society, and there's just so much going on, and it's so flippin' good. This series also has so many of my favorite tropes, from Marriage of Convenience to all different types of things. There's a lot happening and it's all worth it and incredible, and the arcs that you go on with these characters will destroy you. I was sobbing at the end of book 2 and I'm sure I will be crying throughout this book as well, but no tears yet, but only one way to find out. So I'm going to keep going. I have so much of this book left, so at least maybe this is the universe's way to tell me I need to do more reading. Started a puzzle, though it's kind of dark. I picked a really bright puzzle thinking that would help, but we only have this window. Well, we obviously have these windows, but it's just really gloomy outside, so not a lot of light. So I think I'll join Matilda here in the front room and get some reading in. Isn't that right, Matilda? Yes. Making a speedy little breakfast for lunch. Bon appetit, paired with a very unfinished puzzle. Chapter 6 got me. Oh my god, I just screamed. All I have to say, when that reading lamp turned on, I just about lost my mind. Hi friends, I've decided to come do some reading in
my bedroom. I tend to not like to lay in bed during the day, but this is the brightest room in the house because of these like upper windows. It's also the coldest room in this house because of these upper windows. Double-edged sword. But I'm just gonna read until it's dark.
If I'm being honest, I'm not confident we're gonna get power back today. Austin energy is something else. Hopefully tomorrow is my, like, fingers crossed. We have flashlights. Again, we have a gas stove, so we're really lucky with that. Obviously, we're home and we're safe, which is ultimately the most important. But look at this, like, curveball in a reading vlog, you know? I have nothing else to do, literally, but read. My phone is so close to dying too, so like, I'm gonna have very little distractions outside of reading. So I guess that's a positive in some ways. So anyway, I'm gonna sit and read. I'm on page like 200 already in this book, and it's literally killing me. Cassandra Clare uses the miscommunication trope so effectively. I'm like screaming at the book while I'm reading it. I'm like, just tell her! But nevertheless, oh, Matilda's joining me. She's in her sweater, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna do some reading now. I think I have like 2.5 hours left of daylight. Ooh, sorry, Minnie, so we'll just see how far I get. Clay got some provisions. I have some Cheetos. I think we're gonna make ramen for dinner. You know, the classics. So anyway, time to read.
It's starting to get dark. I feel like I'm fully embracing the ambiance of the book I'm reading, because they are just getting electricity and we have just lost electricity. But maybe soon it will come back on. Who knows? But oh, I have my flashlight. This will be my way that I read tonight. Oh yes, reading by flashlight. I feel like the vibe of this vlog turned into like a horror film.
Great news. I read to page 250. This book is amazing. It's breaking my heart. The angst, the character development, top notch. And of course, Cassandra Clare actually has an interesting urban fantasy plotline. Like, it's truly the total package. As a concluding novel, I'm so excited to see where it's going to go. There's also a lot of like tension that's created due to just knowledge of other series. Particularly with use of a certain warlock character. And like, if you've read that other series, it creates this level of eeriness that I don't know would otherwise be there, which I think is like such a cool choice as well. But luckily, you know, I have this very entertaining book to help me make it through an otherwise very boring night. Because I'm running out of things to do here, but luckily I have this flashlight. And, and I guess I'll read.
I've actually been editing a bit of a vlog too, with my last remaining bits of battery of my laptop. I have no Wi-Fi, so at least I can edit, you know? We have this lighting is so unpleasant, but we are making some tea. It is cold in our house. We're all swaddled up. So again, so grateful we have a gas stove. I don't know what we would do if we didn't have a gas stove. But we are making some tea to warm up. Then I'm gonna make some ramen noodles for dinner. We're getting through. God bless tea. We also lit a mega candle. I will be doing more reading tonight because there's quite literally nothing else to do anyway.
Hi friends, good morning. So, apologies for not really vlogging anymore last night. Last night got chaotic pretty fast. We had a tree limb, a pretty big tree limb hit our roof, which was rather startling, and then, I don't know, it just kind of spiraled from there. We're all okay. I think our roof's okay, but it was just a lot. Temperatures are supposed to rise. We still don't have power though, and we might not have power until tomorrow evening, so 3 days without power. It's gotten very cold in our house. Luckily, again, it's not sub-freezing, but it's still not the most comfortable working conditions, and Clay and I do have to get some work done. So we're actually going to travel down to his parents' house for maybe the next 24 hours, maybe just today. If our power comes back, we'll come back sort of situation. This vlog, you know, alongside it being a very angsty book, has turned out to be a very angsty chapter of my life, which, love it or hate it, here we are. Needless to say, I do owe y'all a reading update because I have read to page 300 of Jade of Thorns, which is excellent. Like, thank God I have that book. Reading it by flashlight was so entertaining. I'm so happy that I had at least that to entertain me yesterday through the stress and the uncertainty of our roof. But I'll do more of a reading update when my brain has defogged a bit. We're gonna get coffee and stuff, but it's really good. It's really good. So my hope is to read more of it today. We're gonna have heat at the place we're going to, which we're so excited about. And, you know, I'm going to my computer, all of these things I just cannot believe. And, you know, fingers crossed we get our power back sooner rather than later. But we've decided to no longer wait on Austin Energy and take it in our own hands and just transport ourselves. Not that the roads are no longer icy. We put some of our refrigerated items outside, but it is kind of pretty in a freakish, very dangerous sort of way. Look at this tree over our house. Oh, this has been giving me the anxiety. It should hopefully be melted by today. Hopefully, fingers crossed. A little Starbucks moment. We are on the road. No ice to be seen down here. God bless. And Millie's sleeping in her little car seat. Thriving in her new environment. Hi friends, look, electricity. I apologize. I've been at Clay's parents' house for a long time, but I've just been working, but I'm about to sit down and do some reading, which I'm really looking forward to. But as I said, I did get to page 300 of this book last night, which I actually feel like is pretty like solid progress. I am happy with that. This book so far is delivering everything I could have ever wanted from a concluding novel for this trilogy by Cassandra Clare. The Last Hours trilogy, in my opinion, is my favorite. I feel like it's the strongest. I'm so endeared to all the characters. It has such fascinating drama. The character dynamics are great. It's so much angst, delicious angst. I feel like sometimes when a book leads with angst, the third book could be maybe the most boring because you might not be able to bring it to like new heights to where you've had it before. But luckily, Cassandra Clare is still torturing us quite successfully, and I am broken on the inside. Just waiting to see what in the world is going to happen next. And it's not just one storyline. As I mentioned, the cast of this book is huge, and there's so many threads to follow and to love, and it's just such a great flippin' time. And also it's very hard for me to describe without spoiling anything, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, something else I wanted to mention is that there's actually illustrations, like full page illustrations throughout this book, and they're beautiful. Like, what a little treat that I wasn't anticipating. And they always happen at like really key moments, so to have an illustration, stunning. Love to see it. This read has been great. I really want to try to finish it before the end of this vlog, but it's so long. I have 477 pages left, which is quite a bit. So obviously I'm going to get some reading done now. I'm still, in my mind, 300 pages in, still very much in the exposition of this book. Again, because it's so long, it's like we are kind of past the introduction, but we're kind of in the rising action, and soon immediate like problem has not quite been revealed yet, and I'm gearing up to that reveal, I feel like, and I'm very curious to see like where this book is going to take us in that direction. I feel like it's going to be dramatic though. So excited, can't wait. I'm gonna go do some reading, go hang out with Matilda. She's very excited to have heating. We had a fire going for a large part of this afternoon, which was delightful. It's since gone out. I should have vlogged it, but it didn't. I apologize. But hey, I'm sorry also about how chaotic this vlog has turned into. But, you know, sometimes the world throws curveballs at you, even when you're just trying to film a simple reading vlog. Hi friends, it's Reagan, and look, we have electricity. So, fun fact, it is Saturday. So we have jumped forward a bit in this vlog, but as I'm sure you can imagine, and I want to deeply apologize for how chaotic I feel like this reading vlog has turned, but you know, there were some acts of nature I could not have foreseen, which resulted in us not having power for almost 3 days. So luckily though, we were able to stay at Clay's parents. I did vlog some of that, but honestly, I was really just working and trying to not stress too much about our house, as we did have some branches fall on our roof, yada, yada, yada. But now it's Saturday, we're in a much better place. And also, I am on page 500 of Chain of Thorns. So the goal is to finish this book before the end of the weekend. This sounds like a wonderful way to pass the time. Honestly, I'm so grateful that this book came out and it existed to entertain me. I feel like I could have gotten a lot farther if I didn't have to read by flashlight there for a little while. But nevertheless, 500 pages in, I'm liking this. I do owe y'all more of a reading update, but I want to get some more work done around the house first, so I will check in a bit. But let's just say the angst and the romance is there. So the plot is beginning to heat up, and we can kind of begin to see how Cassandra Clare is going to wrap this entire trilogy up. But nevertheless, I'm liking it, and I definitely feel like I'll be able to read the last 270 something pages before the end of this weekend. So that's the plan. I have electricity. It's the small things. I'm so excited about electricity.
Treated ourselves to some smoothies on this very beautiful day.
So the funny thing about the weather today is that it's like 65 degrees. The whiplash that we've experienced this week is all over the place. But I wanted to do a reading update with my delicious smoothie. To account for the 500 pages I've read of this very, very long book. So I have been thoroughly entertained by this installment. I feel like third books in a series can always be tricky, especially ones that are very romance centered, because obviously you're going to have to resolve some of that romantic tension that has been so fantastic through the first two books. That being said, because Cassandra Clare has so many different romantic plot lines, there's always something constantly that you're wanting to like see and experience more of. And she actually has introduced or has expanded on one that was like kind of hinted at in the last book that I'm finding to be very engaging. Now, 500 pages into, we're finally starting to see where the plot is going to kind of grow and take us to kind of wrap up this trilogy, and I'm liking it. I also feel like she's including some darker topics, which does mean that this book has quite a few trigger warnings. I feel like she's having a pretty interesting dialogue around substance abuse, particularly with one of our characters, one of our main characters, and there was a side character that also struggled from this. But she has really put it front and center in this book. There's also, you know, elements of parental abuse with some of our other characters too, and kind of the complex nature of how psychologically that could have people respond in different ways. I feel like with the inclusion of some of these topics, Cassandra Clare, I think, is doing a decent job of kind of, one, discussing it. I mean, these are not easy topics to include, but I do feel like it adds like even more to the emotional aspect of this book, because you do feel so connected to so many characters. Obviously, our main characters are James and Cordelia, and I have been really, really loving their storyline going into this one, and there's just been so much angst between them and separately and together. To see everything culminate in this book has been great. But there's so many other characters too. Honestly, I think the Thomas Alistair storyline has always been kind of secretly my favorite. Like, I've been on the edge of my seat in regards to that. There's Anna and Ari. There's also lots of queer relationships, as I just sort of referenced in this book. And there's even some other ones like Grace's chapters I'm very intrigued by too. I just feel like this book balances like all the character stuff that is personally my favorite, you know, the different romances or the different characterizations and friendships and stuff, with actual intriguing combat, which is good. But it definitely leans more in like the character aspect, but there is good fantasy plot too. You know? Hi friends, it's much later, as I'm sure you can tell by the darkness, but Clay and I had a wild hair this Saturday, and that wild hair was to paint the bathroom. I don't know if you can tell. We might also need an additional coat, but we painted this chair rail in here a nice little light pink color. We have other plans for this bathroom. This is like step one of a whole slew of things we want to do. But it was a nice productive Saturday. Very excited about it, and now I feel like I'm going to really relish reading and relaxing for the rest of the night. Matilda was not much help with painting, was she? No. Ooh, dinner is here. What did we treat ourselves to tonight? The answer is fried chicken. Well, doesn't that look delicious? Going to finish editing my video, and then I'm going to read. Perfect way to end the night. Good morning, everyone. Let's finish Chain of Thorns today, shall we? So I'm up and at 'em in PJs, and I'm happy to say I'm on page like 630 of Chain of Thorns, which means I'm definitely in the home stretch of the book. So I'm going to read a decent chunk of it this morning before work, sit here with Millie, but confirming with 170 pages left, the plot is finally, I feel like, starting to heat up. I've really enjoyed reading this book, but if I'm being honest, The character stuff has been fantastic, but I think some of the pacing in regards to like the fantasy plot has been a bit slower, especially now that it's starting to kick into like the final finale, into the final, like we're finally kind of getting information and things are beginning to like happen. It made me realize that not a lot of action actually happened in the first like 400 or 500 pages of this book, but because the character relationships were just so great, I was distracted enough, let's say, by that. The story is also getting rather emotional. It's nice to see just like the different types of friendships that exist here. Not to mention, I mean, there was one particular moment that like really broke my heart. But now that things are really starting to play out, the demons are coming out, let's say, I am feeling like I'm gonna read like the concluding aspect of this book very, very quickly because like everything is kind of coming together. You can see the threads of the finale of this book like really begin to play out, and I'm curious about it. You know, that's where we're at this morning. I'm gonna do a bit of a reading sprint. I'm gonna put you up there. We'll read together for a bit. Then I need to get dressed and work because it is, you know, a work day, as it were. But nevertheless, this vlog is coming to an end. I'm gonna do some picking up because we got some clutter around this house. So, headphones on, let's get started. Lunch is served. Looking pretty tasty if I do say so myself. Alrighty, it's happening. I'm gonna sit down and try to finish this book, though I think I owe y'all one more reading update. But first, I'm gonna collect my comfort items. First off, Girl Scout cookies. Second off, a fresh cup of coffee, because what doesn't pair better with Girl Scout cookies than coffee? The answer's nothing. So basically my reading update is, and I need to do like a full update once I finish this book, is things have gotten spicy. Like so much is happening. And I think the concept, bringing everything together, especially how it involves London, was very, very cool and creepy. I almost wish it was a longer part of the book though. And if you read this book, you know what I'm talking about. I think the choice of involving London is cool, but for an 800-page book, I wish it was more, it was more prolonged because it's such an interesting setting and like so many things could happen in this setting, which we are experiencing, which I am liking. There's still quite a bit to be sorted out with the amount that I have left, which is not very much at all. So I'm very curious to see if emotionally I'll be able to handle this. I also just have to give it again to the creators of this book. This book was really beautifully made. There were so many illustrations throughout it that really just heightened the overall experience of reading this book. They were stunning. They were full page. I was like, is this like a collector's edition? Did I get a collector's edition? Well, if it is, I got it at Target for anyone curious. It's just really good. Really liking it. I wouldn't say this is perfect. I wouldn't even say this is my favorite book of the trilogy, but I love the trilogy so much that I'm still obviously having a great time, but I'm gonna finish it. I have my cookies. Sorry if you heard Billy in the background. And I am going to read now. Hi guys, and welcome to the end of the vlog. I can officially say I have finished the entirety of Chain of Thorns, all like 777 pages of this beast of a book. And I have to say, it was really, really fun. Obviously, I'm a big Cassandra Clare stan. I'm a big fan of this series. I enjoyed it. I do think maybe there were some pacing issues and there could have been more prolonged writing for the actual action and the fantasy aspects of this book. But if we're being honest, I read this book because I love the characters and all the interactions that they have with each other. And that was definitely present in spades in this, from the friendships to the romantic pairings. There's a lot of people to follow, hence the length. I would honestly say for me in this book, the most interesting storylines actually had to deal with Grace. Cassandra Clare made her character more dynamic than she probably needed to. And because of that, I feel like it made this book much, much stronger, if you know what I mean. I'm really curious to know what Cassandra Clare is going to do next. There's a bunch of Easter eggs present throughout this series, but I will say, if you're interested in the Last Hour series, I would just skip to like the recent trilogies written by Cassandra Clare. Definitely read the Clockwork Princess series because that's a great one. But you don't need to read the original 3 in my opinion, or even like the first 6. I also think they're so much weaker than everything else that she's put out in this universe and world. So anyway, I finished it. We have power again. This video ended up being quite the arc that I was not anticipating. Again, big shout out to this video sponsor, which is Glasses USA. If you guys want to learn more about them, click the link down below, as well as you can shop all of my frames, which will be down there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye.